of you guys have probably heard the stories about how players can use sleeves and playmats to cheat like that. I'm kind of going to go through some of the myths, the things I've never really had proven true for cheating. Just kind of, you know, kind of get the comments section to kind of, I guess, get riled up a little bit and see what you guys are kind of thinking in terms of some of, you know, this stuff. The first one is the PC player's choice. Now, I don't know if you guys know a lot about this, but these sleeves stick together ridiculously easily. I've heard stories about people licking these sleeves so they'd stick together so you'd draw multiple cards over the course of the years. Shit's fucking hilarious, I might add. But it's kind of funny when you think about it, because PCs, they're super easy to, you know, swipe across the playmat. After about 2 to 3 rounds, they're going to be destroyed, especially after an 8-round tournament. Like, them sleeves are going to be ruined forever. And, you know, they're really easy to, you know, damage a corner, tell what a certain card is, general things like that. And, you know, in addition to this myth, I've also seen the same playmat, the same color of sleeves. And I guess it's kind of try to add the additional effect into the equation that, you know, you can swipe it across the mat and your opponent won't be able to tell if you're drawing additional cards. Because if they're stuck together and you're drawing them as you're swiping them across your mat, like so, there's like that, then, you know, they're going to break apart, and then as you add them into your hand, then you're not going to have any problem doing so. I've seen this with both Ultra Pro and PC sleeves over the course of the years. I don't know if it's true or not either, but it's just kind of something that you try to avoid with power shuffling. The other thing is power shuffling. Haha. So, technically, when you're power shuffling your opponent's deck, you should be counting your opponent's deck for your own personal reference inside your head. If you can't count in your head, you shouldn't be playing this game. But to be truthfully honest with you, when you're power shuffling your opponent's deck, whether or not you're doing 4, 8, 6, 7, 8 piles, you know, count your opponent's deck. I typically do 4 piles just to put 10 cards in each pile, just for my own, you know, personal thing. Even when I'm shuffling, I just do 4 piles. And I've seen some people do some weird shit. Yes, power shuffling, you know, doing the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 power shuffle. I will admit people do consider it a form of cheating in some games. I know Pokemon, you're not allowed to power shuffle like that, but Yu-Gi-Oh considers it a viable means as long as there's a shuffle afterwards for randomizing. And it's kind of shitty, you know, coming from Pokemon, where they're like, oh, you can't pile shuffle, that's a form of stacking in this game. And you just stare at them and you go, really? Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic don't give 2 shits, why the hell would you? It's just kind of some of the weirder, funny stories that I've had over the years. So currently, a lot of the suspected cheaters in the community went to monster sleeves. And we're all wondering why they have switched to monster sleeves. Now, I don't have any proof to support you know, a connection between these two. It's just, it seems really weird seeing some of the people that are quote-unquote thought to be cheaters suddenly playing monster sleeves when, you know, PC and Ultra Pro are available. And, you know, you start to kind of draw on the conclusion that there might be some method to players in the community trying to cheat with them. And, you know, I don't know. That's kind of why I wanted to ask you guys, do you guys think that there's a connection to monster sleeves and the supposed cheaters that are already playing? Now, I'm not going to mention any names. This is just something I've been kind of catching wind of down in the Zodiac. But it's kind of funny. A new style of sleeves comes out, you know, people that have cheated in the past are kind of like, let's going to think about this for a little bit. I don't know, I actually have not had the opportunity to get monster sleeves yet. I think I had one of the older versions in my binder at some time, and they felt really, really, really like PC. So I could kind of, you know, make a connection there in terms of, you know, the durability isn't going to be as great as Ultra Pro. But I still don't see how there could be, well, I can see how there could be a connection, but I don't understand how it can be done just yet. So if you guys are playing against people with monster sleeves, maybe raise your suspicion level from stage 0 to stage 0.5. Kind of just be curious as to what's going on with your opponent. I mean, kind of just watch your opponent, always ask how many cards in hand. Just generally keep tabs on your opponent. I mean, there's a way to be suspicious of your opponent cheating, and, you know, there's a difference between that and being a douchebag. Yeah, I mean, like, if you're asking your opponent how many cards in hand, you know, you're keeping an eye on your opponent when you're playing, you're watching your opponent swiping cards across their mat, I mean, you're kind of going to be suspicious every once in a while. And, you know, the other thing, oh gosh, this is another story I've heard over the years. I don't know if this still applies, but there were people that would shuffle up their opponent's decks, and then they would grab the deck and then drop one of the cards on the floor underneath their chair. And that would make your opponent's deck an illegal deck, you know, 39 cards or something like that. And, you know, I've still seen scumbaggery like this even to this day, where your opponent will try to shuffle your deck, they'll drop a card on the floor, and then, you know, they'll power shuffle your deck, they'll be like, Judge, he has 39 cards. And they'll get you a game loss or a DQ for it. And it's all around just pretty shitty. You know, knowing that people can do this. I mean, you really don't have any ability to call them on it. I mean, you've already presented your deck for a deck shuffle. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not condoning this by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just trying to make you aware of, you know, the scumbaggery that can happen. But is it right? No. Is there anything you can do about it? Yeah, watch your opponent shuffle your deck. You know, make sure your opponent shuffles it parallel to the table. That way they can't see what they're shuffling. Oh my god, that's the other thing that annoys me. When your opponent looks at your deck when you're shuffling, this is one of the things I wish I could call people on in this game. I think you can. It's just like I never do it, and it like angers me so much. If you suspect a player of cheating when they're shuffling your deck by looking at it, call over a judge and make the judge aware of what's going on. Because, to be honest with you, yeah, you don't want to waste the judge's time, but let's be fucking real here. You have the ability to call a judge if you suspect any strange amount of cheating whatsoever. So if your opponent's looking at your deck when you're shuffling, call over the judge and have the judge shuffle your deck for all you care. As long as the deck is randomized in a random order, then you have no problem. And, I mean, if the player's going to start getting shitty with you, then you know that they were cheating. So, I mean, it just confirms your suspicion. But it's just plain BS. When people think they can get away with stuff like this. I mean, scumbaggy enough to steal a card from your deck, whether or not, you know, they think it's good or bad, trying to get a free win. But, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, it's just little things like this that I hope you guys become aware of. I'm not trying to just detour any of you from competitive play. It's just, it's little shit like this that could or could not happen to you. And, you know, it's a sad day if it does happen to you. I mean, just try your best to avoid it at all costs. And, you know, just enjoy the games that you're playing. So, that's my 2 cents, guys. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about Yugiohs, the cheaters, and things like that. Tell me about the monster sleeve connection, if you think it exists, or if you don't think it exists. It's just kind of interesting, the myths that come up in this community. Alright guys, Autinos. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please thumbs up this video to show your support, and please check out Vanguard 40 for Cardfight Vanguard, MKohl Games for miscellaneous trading card games, and No Limit Gaming for a brand new series of Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Thanks for watching.